Hello, welcome back to the Lens community. Today's episode will be on how I actually get clients. This is something that has been requested through my Instagram poll. It was a popular option, and I really hope that today's episode is helpful and insightful for those who maybe you already have a client base and you're looking to build it, or you don't have any clients. Maybe you just don't have any clients yet and you're interested to know how I got mine. Well, let's just dive straight into it. It's not a straightforward answer, but I will try to give as much practical advice as I can and talk through the different ways that I've gotten clients, the mistakes that I made, especially in the beginning, and if I could go back in time, what would I change and what would I do differently? Or if I was to start again tomorrow, what would I do? How would I get clients? How would I find clients to work with? And how would I get paid work? So let's start with the mistakes that I made in the beginning when starting my business. So in the beginning, I'm sure that a lot of people can relate. You're trying to build up your portfolio. You're trying to get experience. And the mistake that I made was working with the wrong people. I think it's great to build your portfolio and gain that experience that you need when you're starting out. However, the people that I chose to work with were just not ready to invest. And it's really difficult to build a good, sustainable, genuine, healthy relationship with a client who is not going into it wanting to work with you long term. I've done a lot of one-off shoots, one-off projects, one-off favors, one-off free photo sessions, free videos when I was starting out and when I was trying to build my portfolio and getting that experience, and specifically client experience, because that is very different to seeing it as more of a hobby, which is where I did start out right at the beginning. But when I really wanted to start working with clients and generate an income from my passion and what I enjoyed to do, I wasted a lot of time just doing it with the wrong people. I did learn a lot though from these experiences, and to be honest, I want to say that it was a complete waste of time, but it wasn't, because I did learn something. I learned a lot through going through these experiences, doing these one-off shoots for clients and businesses and brands. I will say that free shoots and doing things for people because I wanted to build my portfolio, it did actually lead to paid opportunities in the future. So I wouldn't rule that idea out. Like I said, it can be very, very good to build your portfolio, build that client relationship, basically prove yourself, because at this point you probably don't even have a portfolio of work, so you have nothing to really show. So I would recommend to do that, but just be selective with who you're working with. Another mistake that I made in the beginning was waiting until everything was perfect. And it was definitely a confidence issue. For years, I was building my portfolio, but I never really took it seriously until many years after, which is interesting that it did take me so long. And I think it was just more of a self-belief that I had that maybe I couldn't make money from what I was doing, but I just never really gave it enough thought of how to actually make an income, how to make money from this, how to monetize it. It was a hobby, it was a passion of mine, but I was waiting to finish college. I was waiting to get my degree when I didn't need to wait, to be honest. I could have just started, but I didn't, because I was waiting until I had the qualifications, until I was ready, until I had the right gear. But you will be waiting forever if you wait for things to be perfect before you start charging money. And also just waiting for people to come to me and to find me, working really hard on my website, on my portfolio, my social media, but not really talking to people, connecting with people, outreach. just putting yourself out there and reaching out to people yourself rather than waiting for people to get to you. And that can be a little bit of a frustrating process because you could be putting in a lot of effort with your outreach, but not really getting much response. But you have to do it because you can't just sit back and wait for people to find you. It's not until you actually build those connections and people know who you are. But in the beginning, no one knows you. So you have to put yourself out there. So where did my clients come from? Posting on social media. That's a huge one, to be honest. Social media is really powerful and it can get you connected with so many people locally, but also from a distance as well. With social media, I started off with just posting my work. But over the years, I think it just became more popular to see behind the scenes rather than just a finished portfolio. Instagram started off with just images. So, I mean, I've had Instagram for so long now. And in the beginning, it was just photos and it was very simple. And photographers used it as a portfolio. But over the years, video was introduced. It became very popular. And people are posting reels. They're sharing the behind the scenes. They're sharing the process and documenting it and sharing it with people online. I take behind the scenes very seriously now compared to before because it's part of my marketing and it's really important for me to get that behind the scenes captured. Sometimes I don't have people with me and I just try to maybe get what I can. If I'm working with a client for the first time, I tend to not do that. But if I'm working with them for a second time or third time, I will get behind the scenes. I've paid for someone to come along to the shoot and capture those behind the scenes because it's really important. It is your marketing. You're not going to necessarily get clients just from the final piece, but people actually want to see you and get to know you and see you work. I've mainly been on Instagram, to be honest. I have not really used other social media as much as Instagram. I'm trying to get on LinkedIn, posting every now and again, but it's just something that's going to take time, I think, to just build that profile up and make connections through there. Mainly use Instagram. I use Facebook. A lot of my friends and family on Facebook, so they tend to see and they share it. And my work does get out there that way as well, which is really helpful. Babe, do you reckon you could get me my water? My throat is like so dry and I don't want to move. Thank you. Just having some water. So dehydrated right now. My website, I do get inquiries through there. I think it's SEO that creates those opportunities because I'm making sure that it comes up on Google where I'm based. So location's really important for your website to actually get noticed. I mean, I'm available to travel, but people find me in my area through my website. Or sometimes my clients refer me and they share my website. That's my main link that I do share with people. So although I am posting on Instagram a lot, and I'm trying to think what other apps there are. TikTok. I've created a TikTok. I'm not posting on TikTok, but I do have an account on there. And TikTok is really good for building, I think, like just an online presence. But if you're service-based, then I do think it can be really good. I haven't really given it enough effort to see how that would work. So yeah, I do share my website link with people. I put it in my bio, and that's how I try to get my inquiries. I try to lead my clients to my website. And my inquiry form is really, it is simple, but it is detailed at the same time. So it's really straightforward what I'm offering on my website and what my offer is. And I have a list of offers. I have a drop-down menu so people can clearly see what I offer. And they provide as much detail as they can for me. So then when they submit that form, I know exactly who they are, what they need, and how I can help them and any extra details and where it is, timings, everything, because that just helps streamline the process and makes it so much smoother and quicker for the client. We're not going back and forth, me trying to understand where they're at. I do have like discovery calls for the client to really meet me, but that's more so to get like a vibe between each other and if it's the right fit. And if there's anything else I want to clarify from their form. But from there onwards, that really just helps the process and speeds things along. So yeah, I did mention that my clients refer me. So referrals and word of mouth is huge. I've gotten so many clients this year from word of mouth, people recommending me, or just people like asking about me because I'm posting behind the scenes, I'm posting finished work. My clients are posting the finished work. They're also tagging me. So I become more visible. People are asking. I think if people see that you're working with someone that they know, and this person is really happy with the work, they're posting the photos, and they can see that the project, the shoot went really well, they're going to want to work with you. So I think it's just really powerful to encourage your clients to tag you, to mention you, to reshare what your clients are posting, and they'll support you back, hopefully. But yeah, people recommend me because of the experience. And that's from beginning to end. People recommend me because they had a good experience with, if not everything, very specific parts of the process. I put a lot of effort into the initial pre-planning and understanding the client. So yeah, it might be that they had a good experience overall, or it might be that they had a good experience with the pre-production, the planning, the initial discovery call, getting to know me, who I am as a person. It was a good fit. And I'm genuine. I don't hard sell. I don't try to convince people to work with me. I'm very organized. So it's not just invoices paid, that's it, I'll see you on shoot day. I put a pre-production plan together. I do storyboarding, I do shot lists. I ensure that I've got everything that I need. I will buy equipment if it's needed, buy props, and I'll do whatever I can to help the client pre-shoot day. So yeah, scripting, strategy. Sometimes I have strategy sessions with clients to really understand their brand and their business goals. So it's more than just a shoot, but it's linking it back to what their brand is, who they're speaking to, what their content pillars are, their messaging, their wording, how they want to come across to people, learning what platforms they're on, or what platforms they want to be on. And then the post-production process, I keep the client updated and informed throughout, so they know when to expect the images. All of this is listed in the contract. The contract has everything. And if there's any questions that the client has, they feel free to ask me. And the communication, I try to communicate and update the client throughout until final delivery. And then I'm asking at the end, are you happy with everything? Is there anything else I can fix? I'm going to try my best to make sure that the client is happy throughout everything. So yeah, people recommend me because of that, because they feel good from working with me, and they're happy, of course, with the end result as well. I feel like trust and good experiences matter more than the actual work itself in a way. Clients will be very happy with the end product, but they will be even happier if they feel good whilst receiving it. Both are very important. You have to make sure that you're delivering high quality work, but you're also providing a good experience. Networking, genuine networking though, getting to actually know people, making an effort to make friends in the industry, because it can be very lonely. And it's important to get to know people before you start working with them. And there's so many opportunities where I've just wanted to just get to know them, but building connections and genuine networking is really important. Not just attending a networking event, expecting people and opportunities to come to you, but just being genuine and a good person and wanting to build those connections. Supporting people on their journey as well, and just supporting people from the sidelines, whether they're a close friend or not, just giving that support to people online and in person, supporting their journey, what they're doing, hyping them up is genuine, and people may support you, they may not, but you will find the right people. People tend to like me because I'm genuine and I can be very honest, and I am confident in being myself. Learning to love myself as a professional is something that I'm working through, but I'm always actively trying to just be myself and bring out my personality, because it's not just your work. That's not the reason why people work with you. It's also who you are as a person, and you want people to get to know you. You want people to know who you are outside of work and what, how you spend your time. And this is the right way to find people that you align with, whether that be in collaboration, networking with other people, or actually working for clients. I will say that people, I think, do like me because I am genuine, hardworking, and organized and on it. Even though sometimes I don't feel like I am, people do compliment that about me, that I'm working so hard and I'm doing really well. And it's really nice to hear those things. It's a good reminder, and you need people like that. And sharing behind the scenes, but also people seeing me work, I think allows them to be able to witness how I work, how I treat clients myself, and that builds trust, and that encourages them to bring me forward for opportunities and recommend me to people and bring me on projects, because they see it firsthand, and that builds trust. What I think doesn't work is obsessing over social media and online platforms and completely forgetting about in-person interactions. You are literally a walking advertisement. You are walking around marketing yourself all of the time. And if you're the front face of your business, you are promoting your business all of the time, technically. I think this goes for those who are working solo more so and are the front face of their business. You're not just a business, but you're also a personal brand. Every business has a personal brand, and you are a person before anything else. So I'd say what doesn't work is not talking to people, not getting involved, not offering to help, not offering to assist, not getting stuck in and embarrassing yourself, hiding yourself away behind. My battery just died, so I've just had to put a new one in. So yeah, where was I? Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Don't hide away. And you're going to have to just try things out, trial and error, put yourself out there and making mistakes. Don't try and make everything perfect. Just start with where you are and with what you've got. So what I'd do if I were to start again is probably focus on building long-term relationships and being selective with who I work with. Document the whole process. I did document a little bit at the beginning, which I'm really grateful for, because even during the days where I'm getting behind the scenes and video iPhone content was not very popular, if I were to start again, I would document literally everything. Document the good times, document the bad times, the struggles, the challenges, because it's something that, you can share if you want to, but also just something to look back on personally for yourself, because it's really difficult to see the progress that we make, and just to have evidence there that you've went through hard times, that you were struggling with something and you overcome it. Sometimes we have to just remind ourselves of what we've overcome and what we've built, and it's not until you look back and you see where you started that you actually realize how far you've come and how much you've achieved. You've probably achieved a lot of the things that you only wish that you could at the beginning years ago. And it's all the little things, it's all the little moments, and it's really nice to just have that footage and to have, whether it's a video, photo, a diary, a written entry, whatever it is, just document the process for yourself. But also for others as well. It's really interesting to be able to share that. And like I said, it's marketing. And if I were to start again, I would pay someone to come and document everything behind the scenes. I would network even more. 100%, and not just locally but also online. A lot of my connections have come from online and getting to know who people are online first, and then that can turn into in-person connections too. But yeah, putting myself out there even more than I have done. I think I was really nervous at the start to speak up and start conversations, but people are just as scared as you, and somebody needs to step up. Somebody needs to make an effort and start the conversation. And that can be you. It has to be one of you. And you never know what those moments might bring you, specifically in that moment, but also in the future too, because there are a lot of times where I've built those genuine connections and relationships with people, and then only like years later down the line, that has actually blossomed into something completely new, and it's given me opportunities that I just never would imagine that they would have. I would probably focus on promoting one offer, because it can get really complicated and confusing when you're trying to offer multiple things to clients. So I'd probably just stick with one offer and expand from there, rather trying to offer loads of different stuff at once. I'd probably work on my communication with clients even more, because in the beginning I was very shy and I did let people walk all over me, and just being honest from the start just avoids a lot of conversations that just don't need to happen. So yeah, just improving communication, being honest, speaking up, setting boundaries with clients can avoid you working with the wrong people. One specific thing that I would do is just talk to them face to face or on the phone. Do not text. Don't constantly send back and forth emails, because it can be so time consuming and so many things can get misinterpreted through text or email. So sometimes, if it feels like it's getting a little bit heated, just pick up the phone and things will be sorted within a matter of minutes, most of the time, hopefully. If not, then you do have a problem and maybe it's just not going to work. But so many problems have been solved by just picking up the phone and talking. And whether that be problem solved for you or problem solved for the client, it just makes it so much easier. And sometimes it's a lot to process over text. I prefer text because it means that I can actually read through something in my own time. But in this industry and being a business owner, you have to be able to have those conversations, those hard conversations, and it is so worth it just having those conversations face to face, where nothing can be muddled up and people are much easier understood. I would ask for referrals from my clients. I would encourage clients to refer me, whether that be just directly asking them to, which I think, I would definitely do that. Or it would be creating a referral program, because people have recommended me anyway, but I think I definitely could have just asked for referrals too, because people are very happy with my work, and then I'm just not really encouraging them to recommend me to other people, but just saying feel free to recommend me, here's my business card, just encouraging that. People don't know until you ask. So the summary is, what is the summary? People buy from people, okay? So pick yourself out there, have a face to the business, and build genuine connections, because people need to get to know you and who is behind the camera, who is the person running the business. People need to get to know who you are and who they're working with. People buy from people. Trust and good experiences matter so much more than the work. Don't get so caught up on creating pretty pictures, but how you make your client feel. Being consistent is huge, and being visible. So just, like I said, being visible, putting yourself out there, and not hiding away and being consistent. Something that really helped me be more consistent was committing to very small goals and building upon them rather than overloading myself with so much. Just building those habits first, and they could be really small. A lot of like the greatest habits that I have today was built from starting so small. You do not need to achieve things overnight. Just do whatever you need to do to be consistent and be visible. Put yourself out there, walk into places, ask to speak to the manager, outreach, email, phone call, put yourself out there. And because a lot of the times I might complain and say like, oh, why have I not got much work going on at the moment? But it's probably my own fault. I'm probably just not putting myself out there a little bit more, because the opportunities are out there and they're just waiting for us. And the right people are out there, the right clients are out there. Set those boundaries in place, communicate. And yeah, I think that's everything. If there is anything that you think I've missed, please let me know, because I've tried to make this episode as informative as possible. But if there is anything that I might have missed, just let me know, and I can include it for a future episode. Maybe do like a part 2. Not sure, but yeah. Thank you so much for listening today, and thank you so much for your support. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please rate the podcast 5 stars, and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it and what you liked most about it and what you learned, and if you have any questions. If you're watching on YouTube, then feel free to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you can be notified for future videos. Thank you, and I will see you next Monday. Bye, guys.
Yes! Yes!